Good morning, everybody, and happy October. Today we're going to talk about some of the fantasy characters that are in Call of the Elements, and stay tuned. If you like urban fantasy, paranormal romance, and supernatural, I've got the book for you. Call of the Elements is about 4 fantasy creatures discovering that they become the elemental guardians and they have to fulfill a prophecy. Now, somewhere along the line, the Guardian of Fire casts a very powerful spell which causes the prophecy to go blank, and the princess now has to pay the ultimate price. Not telling you what that price is, no spoilers. No spoilers. Anyway, so if you're ready for adventure, action, fight scenes, and war, come be a part of this journey. You won't regret it. Check it out. The link is in the description below, so check it out. I know you'll like it. I enjoyed writing it. It's not finished yet. Only 5 books of the series is released. There's 5 more books to go. I can't talk today. Hello again, and happy October again. So today we're talking about fantasy creatures in Call of the Elements. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, Cerberus or Cerberus. I always say Cerberus because that's how it's spelled, and that's how I sounded it out, but it's actually pronounced Cerberus. It's a 3-headed dog, but don't get him confused with man's best friend because this Fido is not friendly. You would see him on Harry Potter. There's a dog guarding the Sorcerer's Stone. It's a 3-headed dog. That's a Cerberus. And then you have one in Once Upon a Time, which is an evil 3-headed German Shepherd looking thing with red glowing eyes. He is not a nice character. He is a nasty beast. But whether they have glowing red eyes or just regular eyes, or they're 10 feet tall or they're 5 feet tall, these creatures have the mindset of a demon. So if you want to try to pet one, don't expect to keep your hand. Number 2, fairies. Tiny, beautiful creatures. They fly around. They spread their fairy dust. They spread their pixie dust. Everyone thinks they're so wonderful. But, they are, but they're not. They're little tricksters, and they will get you into thinking that whatever they want is something you need and make you go get them, so they don't have to suffer the repercussions or any dangers or anything. Nasty little creatures, but they're beautiful. And that's fairies. And I just realized something. In most stories, fairies are naked women. Blue, purple, pink, whatever. But in Call of the Elements, I never say whether they're naked or not. So I don't know if I have a bunch of naked fairies running around in my book or not. Maybe I should change that. Number 3, mermaids. Beautiful, mysterious creatures that float around the water, looking for shiny things, throwing their little underwater parties, underwater world parties, whatever you want to call it. Now, I know back before the Middle Ages, and even today, they make mermaids evil. Now, in Call of the Elements, they're not evil. They're the beautiful, mysterious creatures that go about their business. They don't bother humans or anything like that. Until the King of Chaos comes in their world realm and decides to wreak havoc. Damn you, Balthazar. And that's what brings me to number 4, Sirens. Now, here's a little fun fact. Back before the Middle Ages, sirens weren't fish people. They were bird people. Seriously, head of a woman and a body of a bird. And they were, like succubus creatures and stuff like that. But they weren't fish. They were birds, which is kind of cool. But in Call of the Elements, I left them as mermaids or fish people. And they have a deadly voice that when they sing it to you, they're going to draw you to them, and they're going to do what they ever plan they have to do with you. I call it soul sucking. I'm a fan of soul sucking. What can I say? So if you're walking down the street and you run into a beautiful person and they start singing you a song, run. just run. Seriously. Unless you have a death wish, which I don't. So if that happens, I'm running. And lastly, number 5. I'm just going to speak about the Underworld Realm because there's so many fantasy creatures in that realm that I just want to touch base on a few of them. Now, in Call of the Elements, these demons and warlocks didn't just get put into the Underworld Realm to make it exist. No, I actually put a backstory on how it is that the demons or the people got to the Underworld Realm, which is when they die in the above realms, they go down to the Passage of Ending, and they meet with the god of death, and I named him Cerberus, which, I don't know why I didn't stick with Hades, because that's just normal, but it's my book. I'm going to do what I want. Anyway, Cerberus offers them a deal. They can either pass on to the above or the below, wherever their soul is to go, or they can make a deal and live out their life in the Underworld Realm, but the stipulation is they have to serve the queen in the demon army. So, I did have to put a backstory, because these realms just didn't pop out of nowhere. They actually have origins, so I thought that was pretty cool to share. And then they have to serve the realm, the Underworld Realm's ruler, which is a warlock named Catalina, which is the Queen of Underworld. So, that's how the Underworld Realm came to be. And sometimes, depending on the way they died, some of the souls did not turn back into human form. They turned into a demon form. They have sharp claws. They have sharp teeth. Some of them are snakes. Some of them are just mutated creatures. Some of them are just... there's a couple of them that have... I'm not going to do any spoilers, but there's a couple demons that have the skin, kind of like Venom. It's like skin that just kind of retracts down to their neck and shows their face, which I thought was pretty cool to put in the book. So, well, that's all I have for you today. Tell me your favorite fantasy creature down in the comments below. Or if there's something that you have questions or you want to ask me or you want me to make a video as long as it pertains to writing, just write down in the comments. I will get back to you, I promise. And don't forget to check out my book. It's linked in the description below. Please check it out. I will love you forever. So, you guys have a happy week, and I will see you next week. Bye!